Alright fellas, right, I've had a Saturday in here and I've been tootling away, but I haven't filmed what I've done because it was a lot of head scratching, a lot of boring content basically, where I was just thinking things through. So I thought I'll just crack on and then do a bit of an update on what's happened today. So as you saw in the last video, we made a start on the hood, the extractor hood, which is now in place pretty much. I've just got to screw it up to the ceiling. We've got it propped up at the minute. We also showed the control panel, but I have done the last little bits to the bottom, which is to fit the 3 sockets, which I haven't screwed in yet. They're still loose, but the 3 sockets, so there'll be 2 running out to each element in the boil pot, 1 to the HLT, and I've also fitted the sensor plugs. There's 4, so that's what they're going to look like on the underside. That's what's in the control panel, and this that has the lead on just plugs in and tightens down. There's 4 because we've got 1 for the HLT mash tun boil pot, and this one is going to be for the fermentation fridge. Ooh. So we got them fitted. Done dropping everything. I just need to put some self-tapping screws into them sockets to attach them. So we've done that, and I think what I'm going to crack on with tonight is getting the labels on. So hopefully the next time when I upload a video, the control panel will be properly labelled up. And I think the only thing now I need to fit into it is the fan switch, which we're going to have a fan switch. I was going to run the fan on the switch for the elements for the boil pot, so when I turned on the elements the fan came on automatically. I've gone off that idea now because if I'm turning off the boil and then doing a whirlpool, I'm going to still have like steam in here from the last bit of the boil that I want to get rid of. So we're going to give it its own switch. So I've got 1 switch to drill to put in and 2 more holes for grommets for the main power in, the Keyser power in, which will run like the fermentation fridge. That'll be on all the time, but the turnkey will turn on the brewing side of the control panel. What I've done is, in fact, let's set it up. Let me get the paths in. So we have in the HLT, the boilio pot, and the mash tun. I like it. So that's how they're going to be pretty much sitting straight underneath the hood, the vent hood. Now, the reason why I didn't film any of this is because, well, it was very tight for space, and when my arms were in there you couldn't see anything really. But we've basically got a 90-degree soil stack bend 100mm, which is running outside onto the extractor fan, which then has a collar with a bit of pipe that goes into the box. I've got to do a bit of tidying up around there from the jigsawing, paint it back in again, and then seal around it with silicone. But she's wired up actually. I've just wired it up for now onto the fan. The cable's going to stop in, and yeah, I need a hole cutting in this for a grommet as well. So there'll be like 4 more holes to cut in this. The fan switch, power in, grommet, Keyser grommet, fan grommet, and that cable will just run into it. So flicker on, and she's on. She's friggin' on. If I take you outside, you'll be able to hear on the microphone how much blowy it's doing. It's blowy. Oop. So she's got some sucky on her. She's got some sucky on her. Big times. So we're making progress, fellas. We're making progress. I need to put the cover back on there, get her all safe, but she's mounted. And this is the reason why I've had to sort of create this shape in the hood, which may work, may not work. Let me just turn the fan off. It was a case of getting this monstrosity mounted in line, and I knew it was going to be tight for room, so I decided to put this sort of shelf in, so the inside is sloped up to there, so that it gave me room to mount the fan and then straight out. And my hoping is that the steam will still be exhausted from the hood. There'll be enough hood here to catch the steam coming out of the boil pot. Half of the boil pot is actually over the biggest portion of the hood. The other half is into this little shelf. So hopefully the boil will make its way out. The steam will disappear, hopefully. I did actually have the kettle in here and had it boiling, and it was getting rid of the steam, no problem. But that's a kettle. It's different. A kettle of like 2 litres, different to a brewing kettle. But hopefully there's enough hood here to capture the steam, and enough power in that fan to get rid of said steam. That's the plan. So I just need to get this screwed up so it's safe, and then on here where we've got the screw holes, like I said in the other video, we're just going to cut some of this trim down to size, cut the trim down to size and stick it over, just make a bit of a neater job, just on this edge, this edge, this edge, straight down here, and then one along there. And you notice I did the jigsawing stupidly after I sealed round with the silicone. I've sealed all the edges as well, and it's had like 4 coats of gloss, and then it's had the full tin of lacquer. That lacquer's not very good though. I could do with a shinier paint on. But I think the 4 coats is gonna work fine. The 4 coats of varnish, sorry, the 4 coats of gloss is going to have sealed the paintwork, sealed the woodwork, so we don't have any issues with swelling wood, rotting wood. And also I can still get to my windows, which is handy when we're not brewing in here and it's hot. But that's about it, fellas. That is about it. So I'm gonna drill out them a little bit more. I did drill the holes for the screws, but it's not enough. So I need to drill them out, get them screwed up, and then that's them in. It's all coming together. It's all coming together. Buxton Brewery, a West Coast IPA. I can't remember the name of it, but it's awesome. 7.5%. Ah, that's it, fellas. That's it. Right, before we wrap this video up, because we've got the hood fitted now, and the fan and everything, so the extraction hood, if it works, fingers crossed, is completed. Might have to tinker about with a little bit of the design and movement of pots, possibly, but hopefully that's going to be sufficient. So I'll cut the holes out for the element sockets. Well, I've got them fitted in now. they're all screwed in, and you'll notice that I have started to fit the start to put the labels on. So we've got the hot liquor probe, the mash probe, the boil probe. This one's obviously for the fermentation fridge. We've done the same on the front. She's coming together. So I was lucky that the stickers, the labels actually covered what I'd written on. So all we've got is the fermentation fridge, which I've written on, but there wasn't a sticker for that, obviously. But everything's in place now, all labelled up. The only thing, like I said, we've got to fit is here. I'm going to have a fan switch, and then on the side I'm going to have 2 glands here, main power in, and the Keyser, and then on the other side the fermentation fridge power. But apart from that, everything's done. Just need to fit the heatsink to the top. But she's looking pretty good. I'm pleased with how it's all turned out. I'm very pleased, in fact. So what I'm doing now today is I'm working on the pots again, which will be in a separate video because this one's going to get too long if I start doing all that. But that's it, fellas. So as always, guys, don't forget to thumbs up video if you want to do. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Click it once. That's what I should be doing all to say. Until next time, I'm out of here.